Something about this feels like home. Something about you I already know. Something about this.
Aloha, I'm Kristine Altwies. Welcome to All About Adoption. With me today is a very special guest all the way from Seattle, Washington, originally from Hilo by way of Oahu, Isaac Castillo. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, because we've got so much to talk about, I'm going to launch right in. This is all about adoption. And you have had 2 days, your last 2 days of life, pretty much 24 hours all about adoption.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your last 2 days of life?
Yeah. I arrived here on Oahu, what was that, midday Tuesday, and had some time to sit and get ready because on Wednesday, my birthday, I met my birth father for the first time. And it was an incredible experience and nice shirt.
Is this a gift from your birth father?
No, this is actually from my grandpa,
Oh.
actually, that lives over here in Oahu.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Nice
hooked me
shirt.
up. I know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and we just got to spend time and talk, get caught up. It was really nice to meet Chris Tanaka from Hawaii News Now. They came and did a story, and we just hung out, you know, and just talk and getting a chance to kind of just look over there, and that's the person, you know, that's the guy. And it was a lot of that.
A lot of looking over at the person that
Yeah.
you hadn't known or seen for 29 years.
Right, and just feeling a lot of things falling into place about like my personality, my mannerisms, my certain things about my life that I've always been curious about, where they come from. Just a lot of blanks getting filled in on that day. And it felt really amazing to have so many supportive people from Hawaii International Child and my friend there to help document the whole thing, and of course having Tommy there to be there, you know, be present and be the kinds of person that I was really excited to meet, you know.
Tommy, your birth dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up this morning.
Yeah, this morning. And then this morning I went in to record a little bit of music for HIC, and then I was informed by you that you had actually tracked down and found my birth mother, and she had agreed to meet me, and not only that, she was in the building, which I lost it, because this has been something that I've wanted to experience in my lifetime for as long as I can remember. Just the sensation of meeting the people who bring you into the world is something that is so... It's so obviously simple because every human being goes through it, but not every human being gets the experience of meeting those people. It's not all the time, especially being an adopted kid. There are people who shut the door on the child in ways that really make it so difficult for them to feel complete in their lives, because these are two people who are so important to your existence. I mean, they're the one, you know, the reason why you do. And it's like to get the chance to meet them. I've been so excited and so grateful, and then having her actually come in and sit with me and be so wonderful and kind and open to talking with me, and just feeling an incredible sense of completion, you know. Whatever happens moving forward, it's from a place of like my entire mind feels full of understanding. More understanding than I really would have expected, but that's just because you can't know. You live your life as an adopted child, and of course, my adoptive family, I could not have asked for a better family. I've been so blessed. They really have supported me throughout my whole life, cared for me and loved me. I have an older brother and older sister, and we have all been so well loved and taken care of and supported that I just am so grateful that it's only an expansion, you know? It only allows for the family circle to get bigger when you can really be a kind of person that is open to being truthful about your past and being open to meeting people that are part of your life inherently, no matter what the circumstance. So we've just got to have lunch, sing a couple of songs, hang out, and just get caught up. You know, it's been so long, but something I'm realizing about this experience too is there's a simplicity to the conversation because you just know things about the people that you're related to. You know, you can feel them more than you have to say the things. And that really means so much to understand that there is that connection between people. You know, it doesn't always have to be about what you say, it's how you feel and who you're around. And, you know, choose your words wisely, but it's it's been really incredible.
One of the things that's really impressed me getting to know you is your courage in having started this journey a few months ago after obviously years and years of thinking about it. You mentioned the support of the family who's raised you, your family, your mom and dad. But having the courage to say, this is something I want to do. I'm aware that it could go sideways. I'm aware I could get rejected again. I'm aware that, you know, it could become something that I'm not prepared for, but I know I have to do it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, thinking about the greater good, which you regularly refer to, which is so impressive to me, that you're advocating for people you don't even know. You're advocating for this huge world of adoption, while also on your own very personal journey. Can you tell me a little bit about that sort of duality that you're encompassing with this journey?
It's, you know, whenever I've brought it up, there's always somebody in the room or in the group of people that I'm talking to or one-on-one that has a story around it. Like, a lot of people have been touched by adoption, and I think it's not always the easiest thing for people to talk about and to be open to because there's so many circumstances. But that's the thing that everyone, I think, shares, is that everyone's circumstance is incredibly independent and incredibly different. And once we realize the dynamics of why these things happen and the benefits of how, like, I ended up in a great place and now I'm even still in a really great place because of something that I think more people could do. And so many kids right now don't have families. You know, there's so many children in the world that don't have families, and there's so many parents in the world that want to take care of them. And they want to open their doors and let the kids run around in the backyard, you know, and because there's some paperwork and money and just little hiccups along the way, it keeps people from really doing that. And I think that's the reason why I feel so adamantly about raising awareness around it, because without those barriers, we could really care for our whole family. You know, we could care for all of the people that we want to, and all the people that need care could be cared for. And I mean, obviously this is really, it's a personal journey because, like, it's happening to me. But I've also, as the story has gone out, a lot of my friends and family members have been sending me stories. You know, they tell me about times when adoptions have gone, you know, not how they expected, or how they really wish they could meet their birth parents, but there's circumstances that don't allow it to, or journeys that they've taken in order to find them and fill in the gaps of their history. And making that process a little easier by having open adoptions and by providing enough information for whoever it is that is brought into this world to feel like they really did come from a place. There's a lineage, there's a history. It helps everyone move forward while being able to reflect on the past. And it's just something that I really feel good about. And I don't think everyone has an opportunity to be in a platform like this. You know, not everybody sits in my seat, and so I'm trying to just figure out how to be responsible with it and really, you know, shed the light on the thing that's important. I think that's why.
That's great. And I think one of the things you just said, I want to make sure we sort of underscore, because it's profound, and it's, I think, important for people who are maybe trapped in fear-based thinking around various ideas of adoption. And that is that you grew up happy, you felt loved, you always felt a little different, you always were aware of being adopted, that didn't turn you into a deviant, that didn't turn you into...
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, okay, maybe we'll leave that. Okay, that didn't turn you into a psychopath.
Yeah,
We're clear
yeah,
on that
yeah,
at least.
yeah.
And yet, you love your parents who raised you.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy to now be in a place where you can meet the people who you're more genetically related to and make sense of a little bit more of who you are and why you do what you do in certain personal habits and certain talents. And so there is a real difference in the two ways of being in the world. But what I hear you saying is, together, it makes up who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling different your whole life, you wouldn't trade. It sounds like maybe
Mm-hmm.
it made you who you are. Maybe it led to some of your musical inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
You're grateful for the opportunity to put some sense into it now. Is that pretty much an accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the uniqueness of my experience too, because I did grow up happy, but I had problems, you know, and
Who doesn't?
Right.
Like everyone, like
exactly.
we don't
And
want
that's
to
the
pin that
thing.
on adoption.
Everyone
right?
has
Okay.
everyone has their own personal issues, and I think feeling grounded on just who you are can help you realize how you can get through those things. And part of that for me was sometimes having curiosities around why I enjoy certain things, like music, for example, you know, and just like not knowing, just thinking like sometimes, oh, am I faking this? Am I like trying to put on a thing, or why is it always just buzzing around in my mind? And I think that self-confidence and that self-security around it can really like shine through better when you know yourself as a result of like meeting people who complete your story, you know? And absolutely, it's been
Life-changing.
yeah, it's really good.
All right.
That's
Well, I
really
don't
good.
think it could have happened to a better person. And I guess part of what we also want to say is it's not always this fantastic. Some people may wish to start searches and may end up hitting dead ends. Sometimes it's too late. People wait too long and can't meet birth parents or children that they've placed because of, you know, death or inability to find people. So even if we're encouraging people to be open to that, it's not always going to work out as wonderfully as it has for you. And in those cases, you know, the person who was adopted or the person who placed the child for adoption is going to have to work harder at understanding who they are.
Yeah. Well, and there's a certain thing about it too, because I accept that there are going to be difficulties along the way, you know, that there are going to be hiccups in the road, but to not try, to not take the journey to even discover that there is a wall there, or to discover that the birth parent has passed already and there's no chance. Like, to not even make that step, I think is, it's going to be very difficult for that person to feel whole and to feel really like they did the best they could to understand themselves and their environment. So even though I have heard a lot of stories around people's quest to find their birth parents not coming out how they expected, I think they do come out on the other end with at least an answer, whatever that answer may be. And it's all about moving forward, right? So like, it'll shape them as they move through their life because now they know something. It's so much better to feel like it's filled in with something rather than this giant void of, you know, just this big question mark. So my best wishes go out to anyone who's really willing to try and make the contact happen. Because regardless, you're going to learn something about yourself, about the people, about the world around you, and it's been, again, life-changing for me.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about one of my concerns, I guess, hearing from parents who adopt children who feel that the children they're raising, who they pour everything into and they love, My child doesn't show any interest in his or her adoption, never asks about it, never asks about birth mom, is a perfectly happy, well-adjusted child. I don't want to poke a sleeping dragon. I don't want to bring up pain where there maybe is already resolution. What would you say to those parents?
I think that if there is resolution, then it should be okay to ask the question. If the child has really come to terms with what it is that they want in their life around it, be it nothing at all, then build your relationship around the fact that you can trust each other on that, you know, and ask, or at least suggest that there might be something to be discussed around it. And then also, I don't think that the fear is necessary, because you want to know your child. You want to know what they feel, you want to know what they want, you want to know what they're curious about and what they hope to do with their lives. And so why not ask them about one of the most important things that's ever happened, not only in your life, but in theirs. And really, I know for myself, I have not always taken the most opportunities I've had to really be grateful to my adoptive family. I had a lot of times where I would feel different and just distance myself and just not really understand what it would mean to be a part of their family, and just like knowing now what I know, it only makes our relationship stronger. And it really, to keep it in the dark is just, it's not necessary. And it's will only help build a more honest and true connection between you and your child. That's what I would say.
So I guess that's what I want people to understand, and you said it so articulately. Even if your child is happy and well-adjusted, it doesn't mean that they might not be thinking regularly about their differences. And even if everything is done to make them secure and happy and attached, and even if they look like the parents who are raising them, and even if, you know, everything is happy, it doesn't mean the child isn't entertaining thoughts secretly about who am I and what does this all mean.
Yeah. And open the door and like allow them to step through it on their own terms, I think is one of the most important things about it. You know, you don't have to poke and prod and try and get it out of them. It's just, if they know that it's also on the parent's mind that their well-being is of concern, their whole well-being, not just the part that they show, you know, not just the happy smiles, but also like, is there anything that you're struggling with around this adoption circumstance? Is there anything that you want to ask us about what we went through, about why we adopted you, about why you were adopted, if we know anything? And if we don't, should we find out? Should we find out together? You know, that's another big part of it too, is it doesn't have to be this solo trip. I mean, as soon as I started searching, an outpouring of support from my friends and my family and people I haven't spoken to in a long time, and people that are really close to me, all coming together and like really wanting this to happen for all of us, you know? So I think it's also, instead of being afraid of, you know, pushing them farther out, I think it would do the opposite. It would really, you know, again, just open a door for opportunity with honesty.
Well, you're a great living example and role model, and hopefully you'll mentor others who are considering this journey, and you know, just being who you are and being open. And I am dying to hear you play because I've been staring at this ukulele for the past 20 minutes, and I think I know what song you might play if I beg you. It's a song I heard already once, and I can't get it out of my mind. And we have a few more minutes, so if you'd be willing
Sure.
to play, and then we can talk a little bit before we close about the song and the process and anything else that's on your mind.
Okay. Sure. Something about this feels like home. Something about you I already know. Something about this deep in my soul tells me You're my family. Something about the sound of your laugh. Something about it tells me we go way back. Something about that look in your eye tells me you're my family. I know the feeling of being alone, out in the world, out on your own. But just remember there are people you know and love. 'Cause something about them feels like home. Something about them you already know. And something about this deep in my soul tells me we're a family. Tells me we're a family.
Awesome. That was incredible. I can't get it out of my head since the other day when I heard it the first time. It's beautiful. Can you tell us about the process of writing that song? And
Yeah, I've been playing music now for a really long time,
and you're professionally trained. This isn't just like a hobby. It's like the real deal.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot, and it's just it helps me to really process my feelings, I think, in a way that is healthy and good for me. And when all of this started happening about me coming over here to meet everyone, I just I knew that I was gonna want to do some music around it. I didn't know necessarily what it was gonna sound like or anything like that. And then you just sit down and just jot down what you're feeling and hack out some chords, and it comes out pretty quick when it's the right thing, And I try and just keep an ear to the sky and just really listen for something that feels good to hear. So
that feels really good to hear.
it's
That's a good song.
It's a nice song.
Yeah.
It feels really nice to hear that one, and it's just so funny, because sometimes I know that I can speak pretty well, and I have my moments, but it's just it really holds a lot of space for everything that's actually going on, and I don't have to figure out how to explain it, and try and get some definitions around all the terminology. It's just yep, that's it. That's why I like writing the songs, and
Yeah.
I think you thought it sounds pretty good.
It sounds amazing. And when you played it for your birth father the other day at the first meeting with him, everyone watching was so moved, and he was moved, and it was amazing. So I think it's a powerful way to communicate as well as to process your own stuff. I think the people who receive it are so blessed. So.
And I realized something about music, that when you hear a song that makes sense to you, that really feels like it's personal to you, there's just this connection with you and that sound and that music. And I'm so grateful to feel like I can be involved in that process by making something that hopefully will evoke a sense of connection with people, and it's just so funny because the subject matter is like, it's about that, but it's just in the form of this thing that feels really, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good job. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
I hope that a lot of people who are watching this, you know, hear the song and it gets in their heads and stays with them the way it stayed
Not
with
too
me.
much.
Yeah, too much. There's no too much with this song, man. I'm like, it's over and over. Anyway, okay, we've got a few more minutes. A couple things I want to mention and important in addition to you being here today and sharing with our audience. And we're really hoping that a lot of people watching this will be inspired to, if not take a step, to at least consider their own situations and to feel encouraged and to feel supported by a greater community of people out here who are in a similar place. You're making a documentary.
Yes. Yes.
So stay tuned, watch this space. There are campaigns that people can find out about through our website if they want to donate. That will probably be ongoing to support the process.
Yeah, we've been having cameras rolling like 24/7. So.
Yeah, this won't probably turn into a reality show because it's kind of, you know, it's confined to this experience right now.
Right.
But the documentary is something that you're working on, have been, will continue to, and we're hoping to see within the next year. A little more shooting to do.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
Yeah, we're all planning
Great.
to see it within the next year. And we have one more episode after this for viewers who are excited to see you and learn about you, and that is that the next episode right after this one is one in which Isaac's birth mom and birth dad are going to be appearing with him to talk about the experience they've all shared together. So I want to thank you for giving us so much of your time and your heart and your story and your energy and your aloha. And any final word? 10 seconds? You got 10 seconds.
Everyone just be close with the ones you love. Be it your birth parents, your real parents, adopted parents, whatever you want to call it, you know, just recognize who's there for you and when they are and appreciate it and be grateful for it and do what you can, you know, to understand what's going on.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah.
This has been All About Adoption. Thanks so much to Alelo and our special guest, Isaac Castillo. I'm Kristine Altwies. Aloha.
Something about this feels like home. Something about you already know. Something about this deep in my soul tells me you're my favorite.